If your creative spark has completely disappeared, I get it because mine did too. And when I tried to force myself back into painting, nothing really seemed to stick. Then one day I found this old gel plate in a drawer collecting dust, and I decided to give it a try. Within minutes, I was making a mess, having so much fun, and my creativity felt like it came flooding back. You're about to learn how one simple art process reignited my creativity and how maybe it can do the same for you. So first of all, gel plate printing has really helped me loosen my grip on perfectionism. And the reason that is because gel plate printing really kind of forces you to let go, like you cannot have control of the whole process. So the way that it works is you put paint on a gel plate that is laying flat on a table, and then you typically move that paint around with a brayer or other tools. Then you place a piece of paper on top of the gel plate, and when you peel the paper back up, the paint has transferred to the paper. And that is a one-time process. This is a mono printing process. So that means that it's one and done. So if you're thinking of like other printmaking processes, like if you think like an old school like printing press where the text and the images are able to print over and over again, or if you're thinking of like screen printing where they can pull the paint and the t-shirts are created over and over again, it's not like that. This is a mono print one time. And so that's what I mean, like you can't really let yourself get all caught up and stuck and focused on this design. That's why you have to loosen up and kind of let go. In my opinion, it's forcing you to do that. I can see how maybe this could drive some people a little bit crazy because it is a one and done process, but to me, that makes it feel like so freeing. And it opens up this window to like experiment and have fun and play. And that is why I love it. And that is why it's one of the ways that it has helped reignite my creativity. So by embracing that imperfection, it really helped me move forward and gain some momentum in my art practice. And in that time, I was creating more, and so I was able to notice things that I was enjoying. So that brings me to my second point, and that is my love for texture and how it allowed me to go into a deep dive of experimenting with texture in my art practice. So previously, when I would be painting on things like canvas or wood panel, I always found myself gravitating towards things that would make texture. I would look for like scraping tools or unique things that would make different textures, or things like modeling paste to add in to create different textures. And with a gel plate, this process naturally creates a texture. So even if I put down like one color of paint and I pull that paper up, typically there's some leftover remnants there, like leftover colors and things and grungy stuff from like previous pulls. And so it's inevitable that you're gonna get this imperfect, really textured, cool print. And I love that. I've even had someone comment on one of my YouTube shorts like, why aren't you just painting that with a brush? And I'm like, but that's why, because I can paint that on there with a brush, like one solid color, but I find it way more fun and interesting to do that part with a gel plate, and it naturally creates this texture. And so what I was finding was that this was a real focus in my work, and it's something that I wanted to dive deep into. And so I really encourage you to think about what art practice or what technique is really lighting you up inside. So I kind of think of it like this: when you're traveling and you see people in a city like all lined up for like that really great restaurant. Okay, they're doing that because they love that type of food, or there's one specific thing in there that they really want. So what art process or what art materials light you up so much that you would be the person standing in the line waiting to get that? You know what I mean? Like you want to look for these things that are exciting, or think like, can you draw like a realistic picture that you would probably do in a drawing class? Yeah, like I've done that. I've done it and it looks fine and I got the grade, but that doesn't excite me. I'm looking for something that's interesting and exciting to me and that I want to go deeper into my art practice, that helps me want to show up. And so that is how texture with a gel plate has helped reignite that spark for me, and it helps me keep showing up. And so through all of this experimenting with texture, that leads me to my third point, which is it has helped me realize that there are endless possibilities with a gel plate. So I have done so many different things with a gel plate. I have created abstract paintings, landscape paintings, collage papers. I even make earrings with them. So there's all these different directions you can go. Now I do see how that can be a little overwhelming for some people. Like you might kind of get that like decision paralysis. If there's so many possibilities, like where are you going to even begin? But I find it encouraging, and my advice would be to try to narrow it down, like find something that you really want to focus in. And that's kind of what I did. And so this is easy to see just within the 2 online courses that I have offered. One is a layered landscape course where you're using all these cool techniques to layer up and create beautiful finished landscape paintings. And then in my second course, it's all about creating earrings, and we're layering the paint in different ways on these wood earring blanks and then finishing it in different ways with like resin and things like that. So as you can see, both of those courses were really born from me finding something I was really enjoying and just taking a deep dive into that and doing that process over and over again, allowing myself the time to really like dive in and experiment and have fun. And that process where you're in there and you're in the thick of it, that is when new ideas come. And that is when you accidentally like do something and you find this new technique. And that's part of the reason I love teaching, is because then I can share all of those things that I discover with people like inside the course. So that's also why my advice is to listen to that inner voice and see which direction it's going to lead you, because it can take you down this path and this deep dive, and that really helps ignite your creative process. So to recap, these are the 3 ways that a gel plate has helped reignite my art practice. First, it's helped me loosen my grip on perfectionism, which was really helpful because it helped me show up and really build some momentum in my art practice. Second, it helped me realize my love for texture, and then I was able to do a deep dive into texture inside my art practice. And lastly, with a gel plate, there are endless possibilities, which I know could be overwhelming for some, but for me, that's encouraging, and I know there's so many different things that I can try within this one art process. So if you've been feeling stuck or unsure on how to get started with a gel plate, I hope you stick around for my next video because it's going to help you take that first step. We're going to dive into how to narrow down your ideas, how to limit your supplies so that that first step is not so overwhelming. The project that we are going to work on is going to be simple, budget friendly, and you are going to walk away with a finished piece of artwork. So if that video is already posted, it will be here on the screen for you guys to click. If it's not up yet, then go ahead and subscribe so you get notifications for that video and all of my upcoming videos. As always, thank you guys so much for being here. I hope to connect with you all in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.